When it comes to the third act of a film, MCU fans understand just how important it is to be swept away from a film's ending. Luckily, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has produced some epic ones. So without further ado, let's go into the top 10 third acts in the MCU. Number 10. Eternals. Whatever audiences may think about the overall movie, it's hard to deny the scope of Eternals' epic conclusion wherein ancient robots band together to stop the birth of a god from destroying the planet. The stakes have never been higher for the planet, and Eternals manages to deliver on spectacle. The set piece sees a super-powered fight unlike anything the MCU has ever seen, with Makari taking center stage to show how super speed is actually done in a live action. As Thena and Phastos join the fray to distract Icarus, the fight turns into a frenetic display of superpowered teamwork, something that we've imagined the X-Men would do. Meanwhile, you have Cersei getting her big superhero moment as she freezes the god Tiamat from awakening. At the moment, Eternals' finale will likely go down as one of the Phase 4's most impactful, as the fallout from the incident is likely to cause ripples in the coming films, and in particular, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. You know Namor isn't gonna be happy at the environmental damage caused in the oceans. Number 9. Loki. Unlike all of the choices here in this list, Loki stands out as the most intimate and reserved. There isn't a huge spectacle here, but rather a lengthy dialogue and a brief altercation. Yet, what makes the Loki conclusion so good is its simplicity. The finale sees Kang posit his thesis on the earth-shattering notion of the multiverse as Loki and Sylvie wrestle with their ideas of it. The outcome is a brilliantly acted, well-written, and emotionally charged finale that ends up opening the multiverse. The final shot of Loki in the episode where he realizes what has happened is nothing short of chilling. Number 8. AntMan. AntMan may not be in most people's top 5 MCU film lists, but the final fight in the train set is undoubtedly one of the funniest conclusions to a superhero movie. Be it the brilliant Thomas the Tank Engine product placement or the Pym particle gag that turns an ant into a giant, this finale is highly entertaining. One of its best aspects is the intensity of Ant-Man and Yellowjacket's point of view contrasted with the mundanity of Cassie watching the entire fight from her point of view as well. Number 7. Moon Knight. A very recent pick that makes it onto this list is the finale of Moon Knight. Kaiju fights in superhero films or TV shows are few and far in between, but Moon Knight gratuitously gives audiences one featuring a bipedal crocodile and a skeleton bird creature. And if that weren't enough, the show takes a step further by having a big superhero fight in the foreground featuring Mark Spector splitting beat-em-up duties with his alter ego Stephen Grant and a new superhero in Scarlet Scarab. A third act that features two animal giants duking it out while introducing a new superhero. Marvel superhero shows have never been this massive until now. Number 6. No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home boasts not just 3 Spider-Men, but also 5 villains of the Sinister Six. With a lineup like that, it's almost impossible not to craft a third act that isn't remotely exciting. Yet No Way Home exceeds all expectations in delivering the thrills of seeing Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield fighting the supervillains of Spidey's films past. The interactions between Spideys are so charming and heartfelt. Every callback and reference to the past films is very impactful. The intricacy of filming multiple characters go at it simultaneously is so gracefully executed. Best of all, every moment is driven by character. Tom Holland's final fight with the Green Goblin in particular is such a watershed moment for this version of Spider-Man. Number 5. Captain America: Civil War. The intimate close quarters closer of Captain America: Civil War proves to be a refreshing contrast to the film's explosive middle act when the global conflict, wore out by the Sokovia Accords, distills into a fight about friendship. Captain America's own moral compass and loyalty is questioned when Iron Man discovers the secret that's been kept from him all these years. The resulting skirmish between Cap, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier is so emotional and powerful that it makes their reunion in Endgame all the more significant. Number 4. Doctor Strange. In terms of dispatching a villain in the most creative way possible, none of these choices come even close to the ingenuity that is Doctor Strange trapping Dormammu in a temporal bubble in the first Doctor Strange film. The big baddie square-off forgoes the traditional blockbuster set piece, even though it starts as one, and instead focuses on a battle of wits. Stephen Strange uses his logic and intellect to outsmart a benevolent god, much to this god's dismay. Strange concocts a solution that isn't just brilliant, but also thematically relevant to the film's notions on time. Number 3. Infinity War. Essentially the MCU's longest third act, spanning Thanos' arrival on Titan until the Avengers' defeat in Wakanda. Avengers Infinity War is a technical and narrative exercise on pacing, spectacle, and drama. The Russo brothers juggle countless moving parts to make the final act function, yet they pull it off masterfully as they expertly cut back and forth between set pieces that are literally light years apart. You have the emotional battle on Titan that sees Thanos hurl a moon at the Avengers and ends with Tony Stark gutted and stranded, and the overwhelming battle on Wakanda that the Avengers barely keep in line. It's a cascading series of defeats that culminates in a crushing ending for one of the MCU's biggest films. Number 2. Endgame. Never mind that it's the grand finale of Kevin Feige's decade-long plan, just the sheer scale of the Endgame fight alone merits the film a place on this list. It isn't the most creative fight, but it's undeniably awe-inspiring to see the universe come together in one massive showdown. The hot potato sequence is so exhilarating to see, while the Trinity's initial battle with Thanos is filled with so much intensity. And of course, who can forget the surge of emotions elicited by the portal scene? Avengers Endgame's third act is one of blockbuster cinema's most memorable moments. Now, before we get into the number 1 pick, again, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can always stay up to date and watch more of our top 10s. Number 1. Multiverse of Madness. Call this recency bias, but the idea of a possessed zombie being the centerpiece of a multiversal third act seemed impossible just a few years ago. Yet Sam Raimi made it happen. Harkening back to the director's roots, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness features the most bonkers third act of any superhero film ever made. In the film's third act, Stephen Strange is posed with a major problem. Stuck in a dying universe with the urgent need to save a child that's about to get killed, Strange has no choice but to possess a corpse buried in his universe to save the day. To do this, he has to harness a legion of demonic souls out to kill him for the power-up he needs. What makes this sequence even crazier is the way Sam Raimi directs it. The third act perfectly distills all of Raimi's directorial flourishes into one zany, wacky, and inventive fight scene. It's funny, horrific, dark, and visually inventive. Its third act purely hinges on its director, and no other filmmaker could have pulled this off. Rarely does a zombie get to save the day. Now that is our top 10 list for the MCU best third acts. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought about this list. What would your top 10 be? Does it align with us, or would you change something? Also, before you go, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I want to thank you for watching this top 10, and we will see you in the next one.